everyone, and welcome to another speed build. Today we're working in Dragon Valley, and this is the Cozy Cottage. It's a renovation. I actually really like the outside of this house already, the way it was set up. I did make several changes on the floor plan layout, and I did add a few other changes to the house as well. So for the most part, it doesn't look a whole lot different from the front, but there is quite a few other changes that I had done. Like as you can see here, I decided to add a pond. There was a really large space right here beside the house and thought a pond would look real nice right there. So just kind of doing a little bit with the landscaping and the pond. I added a few fish to the pond. That way if your sim wants to go fishing, they can. Just clearing out all the walls and everything else. So again, it's another one of those houses where they seem so big, but yet there's really not much in the house to offer. So as you can see, I set some of the furniture off to the side because I actually did really like it, so I figured I would just go ahead and use them a little bit later somewhere in the build. So I didn't do too much with the landscaping because landscaping isn't really my best part when I'm building. So if a house already has decent landscaping, I usually leave some of it. I might remove some of it or add some, or it just all depends on what I'm thinking with the landscaping at that time. So here I'm just again trying to work out on the house plan, the floor plan and everything like that, and what I want to do. Like I said, there isn't a whole lot of changes to the very front of the house because I do really like the style that it already is in. But we do make several changes to the back. There is a back porch here for your Sims to relax out on. There isn't an access door or any kind of door for that matter from the house to it, but you can get to it from two staircases. So and then I also am adding like a sunroom. That's the other room that you see there at the end of the house. And then that big portion that we added is actually going to be a garage. I know in Dragon Valley, it's not really a thing to have cars or anything like that in the world, but this is one of them houses again that you can place it anywhere, any town that you want. So it's on flat ground and it can be moved anywhere. So I wanted it to be a house that could be a little bit more universal. If you don't have Dragon Valley, you can still download this house. There's just a few items that may not show up because that they were used from Dragon Valley. So like I try to use the same doorways and archways and things like that you get in that pack. So here we're just recoloring some of the pillars, try to help, make them look a little nice, give some support to the roof there above the porch, and just doing a little bit more in the back. Gonna put a doorway in, from the outside to get to the garage. If you don't, of course, if you don't want that to be a garage, it always can be changed into something else. That's fine. But I had I received a comment one day about a house that I had done. I think it was a remodel for one of the houses in Dragon Valley, and they made a comment of the garage. Why would there be a garage in Dragon Valley and things like that? And like I said, this house is meant to be able to place anywhere. So I don't like my houses to be specifically to a certain area, to be limited to where they can be placed, unless I happen to build on a beach or a cliff lot. I prefer my houses to be able to be placed just about anywhere. So that's why even if I do a renovation in Dragon Valley, it may not be exactly for Dragon Valley, because I would like it to to be placed somewhere else. However, I have done a few lots now that are from Dragon Valley or specifically for Dragon Valley, and they do not have garages. They actually have horse barns and things like that you would see at that time of that era. So just trying to figure out the chimney. I really like the idea of the chimney, but I didn't really like the placement of it, so that's why it got moved. And just trying to place it. For some reason I was just having troubles with it this time. I've done a ton of chimneys like this, and I don't know, for whatever reason this one was just giving me a lot of problems. But we do figure it out in the end, and it does look nice. I believe it does also work, so if your sim has the fireplace going, you should see smoke coming out of the chimney. So I think that's a nice touch. Whenever I do a fireplace, I like to try to still have the chimney there. That way, you can get the smoke effect and everything from it. Just trying to do some of the retexturing of the new walls. Like I said, I don't change much. I really like this house as it was. I liked the brick and the style, and the only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that, it was actually a pretty good sized house, but there just wasn't hardly anything there. You didn't have hardly any bedrooms or any other rooms or anything like that. So just trying to continue to finish, the outside part. And there's a sunroom. I use those, I'm not really sure what they're called, those pieces that go into the peak. I think those are from Dragon Valley. I could be wrong. I am really bad about where objects come from, so I could very well be wrong that those came from Dragon Valley. But just going through and coloring in the areas that your Sims cannot go. This house does have a freeze level. I didn't really want to take it out, so I just kind of left it there. Figured I could use it, incorporate it with the way my stairs would be going, so that would make it nice. So again, just going through doing some last minute touches and adding a door to the sunroom here so you could exit out onto this deck from the porch. I really like that sunroom when it gets done. I was very happy with it. I don't think I've done a sunroom. I could be wrong, I may have, but this is the first sunroom that I can remember anyway, and I think it turned out really nice. I am very happy with it. So just figuring out the house plan here. All the bedrooms are upstairs in this house. There are, right there's, I'm adding a bathroom there. I had realized that this house had a very good chance of only having one bathroom, so I went ahead and added another extension right there of the house in hopes to be able to incorporate another bathroom. Sometimes, every now and then, I create a house of decent size and there ends up only being one bathroom. I know that can sometimes be a little bit of a problem, but I've always managed to make it work if I only have one bathroom with a lot of Sims. But just going through and still doing some more retexturing. I just added that door there to the back of the garage. I did play in this house. It's when I actually did have a Sim living in it. At the time that I was doing all these builds for Dragon Valley, it actually started out with the starter home, the starter cottage that I created for Dragon Valley. That was actually my Sim's first home at the time that I was playing in this world. And then she moved to the Meek Manor, which I believe has already been uploaded as well. That was the remodel that I had done for her at the time of that I was playing the game. And then I had her, trying to remember where all she moved and the names of the houses. I'm drawing a blank now. That there was another house that I had her move into later that had a pond. It was a really large lot and a pond in the front. I think, and it has a garage. I'm pretty sure it has a garage. I created a garage in it. I can't remember the name of it, but that one I also have uploaded as well. And then eventually she moved into this one. So this was another home that was created for her. So that's why there's so many of them done in Dragon Valley, because I had just been bouncing around all over the place and doing all kinds of remodels for my Sim at the time. I really liked what I did here with the oven, creating a really large cooking area. I think that turned out very nicely. Just kind of adds a nice visual just a nice thing to look at, and I just think it looks really nice and it fits very well in this house. One of the chairs on that dining room table does not work. It is the one that is facing the door. If you have troubles with your Sims constantly wanting to do homework there, what I do when they find a chair that doesn't work is if you have them sit first and then tell them to do homework, they will actually sit in the same chair and do homework that you originally had them sit in. So if you're having any troubles, just have them sit somewhere, a different chair first, and then they'll do their homework there. What I was creating here was I wanted to create like a desk area, but I didn't want those desks that come with the game are so wide. I mean, they're really wide. So I wanted to create something that didn't take up quite so much space, but also give like a little office area. And you can actually, I really like that little table. That's actually a dining room table that I put in there, or a kitchen table. And you can put a computer on there and they'll still use it, so that makes it really nice if you need to put it in a really small space. And what I did there is I took it and I merged it into the wall, and it worked out great because that oven piece is on the other side, so even if it did go through the wall, you didn't see it. And I put all those shelves from Into the Future. I really like those shelves because they're not very big, so I use them all quite often. And so I put those around it and put merged some bookshelves in there. I don't think the bookshelves work. I could be wrong. I don't recall testing them. I can't remember if I did. I'm sure when I was playing in this house, I probably knew at the time whether or not those work, but as of right now, I really can't tell you. I created this house, a few weeks ago, so I can't remember if those worked or not. But I had wanted to create this little study area, and the computer does work. I was so happy when I went in and had my sim, test this house, and that computer worked. I was so happy. I'd never I put them on the computer on that little table before, but I've never merged it into a shelf like that where the shelf goes through the table and where it was partially into the wall. So I didn't know for sure if that shelf would cause a problem, but they can use it, so I was thrilled that they could, because I really like the way that study area turned out. I think it turned out really nice, and it fits that corner area very good, very nicely. So here we're just kind of adding a little end table. I like using those end tables and putting, the clocks or maybe even putting a phone or something on there. And that phone is a free object if you have, I can't remember what expansion pack it is now. I want to say Generations, but I have this feeling that I'm wrong. But you can go into the store, and if you have a certain expansion pack, you can actually download that for free. If you don't have, that expansion pack, it'll let you know. It'll tell you what expansion pack that you do need to have to download it for free. But it is a free item, and I love using that phone. I just absolutely love it. Ever since I got it, I've just been using it in almost every build. I just absolutely love that phone. So here's what I ended up doing with that couch and chair that I saved back. I really liked the green color and the cream color that they already were, so I didn't want to change them. I was very happy with those colors as is. So just recoloring the rugs and everything to match, and I think they add a really nice touch. I'm not really too sure where that vase that I just put that plant in, I really can't tell you where that came from, and I don't even know if it was a free object or not, but it is a store content, and I use it a lot to put that one tree in. I really like that tree, but it doesn't have anything, at least I haven't seen anything anyway, a vase or anything for it to go in except for that big pot. So I'm always sticking it in there, but I'm pretty sure it's a store content item, so I'm really not too sure exactly where in the store it is or whether or not it's one of the free items. So I apologize for that, since I'm not really too sure where it came from. But this house does have a laundry room. That's the one area that is between the living room and the garage. That becomes the laundry room. And usually when I do laundry rooms, I tend to do hidden baskets. And what I mean by hidden baskets is I take the laundry baskets and I hide them into furniture. And they do work. Your sim will still get laundry and the laundry will still go in them. Not all the rooms will have a hidden basket, because if it doesn't have a piece of furniture that I know that it can be hidden in and that you can't see it, then I don't put it in. But if there is a piece of furniture that I can hide it in, I will hide it in there. That way, if your sim isn't in a bedroom or a bathroom, the laundry will still be picked up and the house won't be covered with laundry on the floor. So this is the sunroom. Like I said, I really like the way this turned out. That little pot that I'm putting there, that does work. Your sim can take care of the plant. I believe I put grapes in it. They can harvest them and they can tend them and take care of them and water them. So I did test that because I wasn't too sure, since I had done move objects when I put that in. So I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but it does. And there's that pot again with the plant. So like I said, I really use it. I tried putting all kinds of plants in here. Since this is a sunroom, you'd find plants that don't normally stay outside because of weather issues or anything like that. So I do put all kinds of plants in here. And then that one pot that has the little purple bunny, that is store content. Again, I can't remember where it came from. I had gotten some store content one day, and I don't know, it had probably been several weeks later, and I happened to notice this little bunny, or a new plant, and I took it out and it had this bunny on it. I was like, oh, that bunny is so adorable, but I have no idea where it came from. So I'm sorry for that. I kind of just found it by accident and didn't realize I even had it for quite some time. So here we're just going through and recoloring. I had realized that even though I had put the furniture and everything in the kitchen, I didn't actually recolor anything. I didn't do the floor or anything like that. So just going through and getting everything, recolored so all of our cabinets can match. And then I just put in the fire alarm there inside of the little stove area. And then just a few more little knickknacks. And I really like taking that one bath thing, that shelf, and you can merge it down into the counter like that, and it just gives a little bit more added stuff that you might see on top of a counter. I know they do kind of look like little bath items, but you just never know what you're going to find in a kitchen. They do kind of look like maybe different kinds of soaps and stuff like that you might have. And those curtains are from store content. Those are from one of the kids packs. I use them a lot. I had discovered that if you recolor them, they look really nice. They're one of my favorite curtains, and there's really not that many curtains that aren't super long in the game. These happen to be ones that are short and they look really nice with some of your shorter windows. So whenever I have a shorter window, I do tend to use them quite often because they do look very nice. So, and right here is the laundry room. Kind of gave it like a little bit of a, the same type of backsplash as the kitchen, the brick. So nothing too fancy with it. It's just a small little laundry room. It has, your utility sink. That way you can come in and wash up before walking through the entire house. That just, that's something nice to be able to have, like a little wash area. Or if you have laundry that needs to be hand washed, that's always nice to have the sink there. But nothing really too much here. There's, a few rugs and a few wall hangings, and that's about it. The space really isn't that big, but I thought it fit nice right here. So that's why I decided to go ahead and put it in. I don't use laundry rooms too often. A lot of times when I'm building a house, I just don't think of them. I don't think of a laundry room. Probably because I was you know, the laundry rooms came later, and I wasn't building with them for so long that I just really don't think about them when I'm putting them in. So we're just adding a few little knickknacks here and there, and that one shelf with all those bottles I think works really good in a laundry room. It kind of looks like different chemicals and maybe different soaps or something that you might be using, and I always recolor it to whatever the color of the background wall is to help blend that in. That way it just looks like little bottles. But as you can see right there, I just put in a laundry basket inside them sinks. You can place them under a sink and the Sims will still use them. Some of the sinks, however, if you only have a single sink, the basket might clip just a little bit, but if you carefully and slowly merge it into the sink, you can usually get it placed to where you can hardly see that sink, and that basket. So unless you're really looking for it, a lot of times you won't see it. But if you do a double sink like that, if you merge it between the two cabinets like I did, you can make the basket completely invisible, so you won't be able to see it at all, and they can still use it. So that makes it real nice, help keep the bathroom cleaned up. So, and then that one toilet paper holder that is attached to the wall, I like to use that once in a while. Merge it down onto the toilet there, and it just looks like an extra roll waiting to be used. So I think that makes it clutter up the bathroom a little bit. It makes it look a little bit more used, you know, like somebody actually uses the bathroom. So I'm just going through and doing a little bit more recoloring. I bounce around between recoloring and adding objects, and it just depends on at the time what I'm thinking of. So that's why you'll see me like right here bouncing around. I just, you know, I did some recoloring and now I'm adding, you know, more objects. Usually my create a style or whatever that's called for the objects isn't normally too bad. The only time it lags a lot is if I have just opened the game for the first time and I haven't opened that up and it has to reload all the objects. But once the objects are loaded, it usually goes pretty quickly. And I have a tendency that because of the game that does take a while to load, I usually end up just minimizing it in the bottom of my computer screen, and it actually sits there. I have been known to let it stay loaded for weeks on end. I don't normally have a problem with leaving it open like that. I do have noticed though, if you do that if it's been minimized for, you know, 5 minutes, I'm going to say 5 minutes or more, save your game right away when you bring it back up, because I've noticed that if you do that and then you try playing right afterwards, that the game tends to crash. But I've noticed that whenever I have saved it right after loading it back, you know, bringing it back up, it doesn't do that. I end up having the game works just fine for me. So I do leave it up quite often. So sometimes when I'm building, my objects will already be preloaded, so everything will go through really quick. And then other times, you know, I hadn't played the game, or for whatever reason I shut it down, for maybe I added some new clothing or hairstyles or something, and I'd shut it down and has to reload all of those objects again. But right there, I thought I would take that little bath vanity thing that you see in there and merge it in the center counter, just to kind of make it look like, you know, a cabinet in the center between the two sinks. And then there is a laundry basket in there. Again, it does work. So I just thought that added a nice little touch right there. I never put, you know, I knew that cabinet, that bathroom cabinet thing was there, but I had never really used it because I didn't really see a purpose in it. But it seemed to look really good right there, so that's why I left it there. I thought it looked real nice. It was a little something different. I hadn't done that before, and it just kind of fancied up the bathroom a little bit. And there's those curtains again. Like I said, they definitely look very childish when you first put them in, but after you recolor them, they look, I think anyway, they look very nice. So one of my favorite curtains. I love using those curtains. And then just, you know, a little towel there hanging beside the bathtub for when you get out. And I'm always, and trying to put some wall hangings, trying to find something. I like to try using different wall hangings, but that way it's not so repetitive. But every now and then, I don't usually build really large houses. Even a remodel of this size, I am a very slow decorator. To give you an idea of how long it takes me to build, this is a remodel, so I didn't even have to build half of the walls or roofing or anything like that. And we're still looking at a good 5 hours of build time. Now, I don't sit here and build for 5 hours straight. I lose my attention to the house, to the build. So I tend to save my camera location and I will pause it, and then I'll go out and I'll save. And then I'll go and do something else for a while, either for a few hours, or I may not even come back for an entire day. It might be an entire 24 hours before I come back to the game and build again. But this house probably took around 5 hours total of build time, and that's just a remodel. So that's usually why I don't build really big houses, because it takes me a long time. I love building and I really enjoy it, but they just take me a long time. I'm very picky and I want it to look just a certain way, and if I'm not fully happy with it, I will sit here and change it and change it and change it until I am. So this bedroom has a ton of not custom content. I don't use custom content anymore. I apologize for that. I use a lot of store content from one of those kids packs, and I really like it. I have used it quite often here recently, but I have also been trying to, maybe I shouldn't use quite so much of the store content of that set. But I had already kind of figured, since I had already used the curtains that came from one of those sets anyway. Can't tell you if all the items I used came from the same set, but I figured since I had already used some of the store content, I might as well just go ahead and use some more for the kids' bedroom there. But yeah, these houses like this one and the Meek Manor, I believe, took me like 6.5 hours. You're probably wondering, why do I have so many houses that are already pre-built and that they're actually been done probably 2 months prior to before they're even uploaded? Well, the reason that is because, like I said, it does take me a while to build them. I'm not one that can sit here and build one of these in a couple hours just in one day. So I have several of them that have already been recorded and built. That way, if I decide I'm really not in the mood to build one week, I still have videos that I can upload. I still have content for everyone to view on their scheduled day. Now the commentary, of course, has started after these were built, so they don't have any commentary on them. So all I really have to do right now is get that taken care of before they're uploaded. So most of the time when I'm doing one of these, yeah, I remember the build, but I don't always remember everything I had done because it had been anywhere from 2 to 3 months ago. Just like I had gotten a new video editing program a month ago, but the fact that these were done prior, then their quality isn't the greatest. But I assure you, I think this is the last house, I believe, that was done with the Windows Movie Maker, and I liked that program. I guess you get what you pay for, and that program was free, so I guess with it being a free program, you can't really expect the best quality. I was recording in high definition, but no matter what setting I chose, it just would not save my video in high definition. It always took the quality down. So I had actually I probably spent a good 2-3 weeks just looking around the internet, looking at different video programs, and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I wasn't really too sure. I really didn't want to spend $300, you know, on a video program or video editing. And then, you know, of course, Adobe Create has one too, but you gotta pay monthly for that, and I really didn't want to have a long-term payment on a video editing program. That to me just seems a little silly. I don't care if Adobe is one of the best programs out there. You know, you definitely get awesome programs for the money that you spend, but I wasn't going to spend a monthly payment on a video program. That just that just seemed, like I said, a little silly to me to do that. And I ended up getting this program. It's Movavi, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It records in great, or not records, but it saves your video. Excuse me. Saves your video in the same quality that you recorded it. And then the save from the editor also shrinks the file size down. So like, I use Fraps. I had been asked what I use, what programs and stuff I use, and I use Fraps to record my builds. And anybody who's ever used Fraps knows that it records beautifully. I mean, it's a beautiful recording, but it's going to be a very large file size. This video here, before I did the commentary and saved it into my, you know, from my video program or from Movavi, was approximately 36 gig. Now when I first started doing these videos, I never thought I really was going to have a problem with video space or computer space. I do have a 500 gig hard drive in the computer, which I know anymore that's really not that big, especially when you can get like 6 terabyte, and I think I even seen higher yet, in the fact that there's, you know, SSDs and all that out there. But I really went through my video space very quickly. But here we are in the screenshots. It looks like, oh, I see what I did. I had before and after. I was looking at that thinking that just didn't look right. But we had before and after pictures of the outside. So here are the screenshots. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed creating the video. I love doing these videos. I'm having so much fun with them. And I love hearing back from everybody, your comments, and just seeing whether or not you guys like what I'm creating. So thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of any new videos. And don't forget to comment and rate it. Let me know how I'm doing. And thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. And hope you all have just a wonderful, great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.